Welcome to Great Travel Documentary, where every city has a secret, and we're here to tell it. Colorado, the name alone conjures images of powdery ski slopes, red rock canyons, and cities buzzing with energy and innovation. From Aspen's luxury to Denver's downtown rise, it's a state that sells beauty in every direction. But step beyond the postcard and wait until nightfall. I stood beneath an overpass near downtown Denver. The wind howled like a warning through the skeletal branches. A plastic tarp, duct taped to a shopping cart, flapped violently beside a sleeping bag. Across the frozen river, the lights of MIT shimmered on the icy surface, brilliant, indifferent. How can a state known for its wealth, wellness, and world-class progress leave thousands to shiver alone beneath its bridges? This is not just a story about homelessness. It's about contrast, about the quiet collapse happening beneath the skyline of success. In this documentary, we uncover the hidden Colorado, not the one found in ski brochures, but the one where families sleep in their cars, veterans lose their names, and winter becomes an adversary too powerful to ignore. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be forgotten in a place the world celebrates, this is your invitation to see, to feel, and to understand. Comment a 6 below if you're ready to uncover Colorado's hidden truth. And don't forget to subscribe. This journey is just beginning. The current crisis, Denver's fractured reflection. By daylight, Denver dazzles. Craft breweries hum with laughter. Tech offices buzz with invention. Snowcaps glisten just beyond the skyline. But as night settles, another city emerges. One built from tents, tarps, and unanswered questions. More than 4,000 people sleep on Denver's streets each night. Some tuck themselves beneath highway ramps. Others cluster into makeshift camps like Tent City, where a thin sheet of nylon is all that separates them from frostbite. There's no insulation, no plumbing, no privacy. Just a patch of earth and the brutal Colorado winter. Nationwide, over 580,000 people experience homelessness each night, and Colorado ranks 11th worst. In just 1 year, the state's homelessness rate has risen nearly 2%. This isn't an anomaly. It's a reflection of rising rent, swelling populations, and wages that can't keep up, of shelters filled past capacity, of economic prosperity that shines bright downtown but fades quickly in the alleys behind it. So here's the question no one wants to ask. How can a city built on innovation and opportunity become home to so many who have neither? If you've ever walked through Denver and felt that chill, it's not just the wind. It's the presence of people the system has left behind. What's really driving Colorado's homelessness? To understand how Colorado, known for innovation, affluence, and endless skies, has become a place where thousands live without shelter, we need to go beneath the surface. Homelessness here isn't just about misfortune. It's about a perfect storm of economics, broken systems, and human struggle. It starts with money, or the lack of it. After the COVID-19 pandemic, Colorado's economy bounced back for some, but not for all. For low-wage workers, those in restaurants, janitorial services, or retail, the recovery never fully arrived. Entire families, once just barely managing, saw their jobs vanish or their hours slashed. And while paychecks shrank, rent did the opposite. The average one-bedroom apartment in Denver now costs over $3,300 per month, more than half a working-class income. Even people with jobs are falling through the cracks. Because in Colorado, a full-time job no longer guarantees a roof. Service workers, parents, veterans, even students, now sleep in shelters or vehicles, pulled under by a cost of living that outpaces any wage growth. It's not laziness, it's math, and the numbers don't add up. Add to that the invisible tide of gentrification. As Colorado's cities boom and attract wealthier residents, older, working-class neighborhoods are transformed. But new condos and rising property values come at a price. Longtime residents pushed out, their rents raised beyond reach. What was once home becomes memory. And from there, the slide begins, into couch surfing, shelters, or tents. But housing is only part of the story. Another layer runs deeper and darker: mental health and addiction. According to 2025 data, about 42% of Colorado's homeless population struggles with serious mental illness. Another 38% battle substance use. These aren't causes in isolation. They're often outcomes of trauma, loss, or poverty. And without proper treatment, they spiral. Clinics are underfunded. Psychiatric beds are scarce. Outreach is overwhelmed. Even when someone wants help, they're told to wait. Days, weeks, sometimes longer. And during that wait, they may lose the little they have left. Substance abuse and homelessness, in many cases, fuel each other. For some, addiction was a factor that led them to the street. For others, it's a way to survive the brutality of being on it. Either way, without accessible recovery options and mental health support, cycles repeat. Lives unravel. Potential is buried under snow and silence. And still, the system adds weight. Colorado's legal and policy framework has long restricted proactive solutions. A key barrier? The 20-year-old court ruling that equates inclusionary zoning with rent control, effectively preventing cities from requiring affordable units in new housing developments. This handcuffs local governments, leaving them unable to meet the affordable housing demand, even as the crisis grows more visible and urgent. Zoning laws are outdated. Affordable housing funds are stretched thin. And while nonprofits do what they can, they're fighting a tide bigger than any one organization can stem alone. So what's left? A cycle where economic hardship feeds into housing instability, where untreated health issues isolate people further, and where policies meant to protect markets end up neglecting people. Each factor alone is damaging. Together, they're devastating. Addressing these systemic issues is essential for creating lasting solutions to the homelessness crisis. The real lives behind the numbers. Under the dim orange haze of a Denver streetlight, a blue hatchback pulls to the curb. Its rear door creaks open, revealing boxes of soup containers, socks, and thermoses clinking like bells in the frost. Tara de la Fuente steps out, her breath fogging up her glasses as she lifts a pot of steaming stew from the back seat. She's not with an agency, just a woman with a small car and a big promise. "Why do you keep doing this?" one man asks as she hands him a bowl. She pauses, looks him in the eyes. "Because I know what it's like when the world forgets you're still here." Twice a week, she drives the length of Curtis Street, stopping wherever she sees a figure curled up under blankets. Her car is too small, her supplies often too few, but the warmth she offers cuts deeper than any wind. Nearby, in a church basement, a girl's paintbrush glides over paper. Lillian is only 6, but her tiny fingers stroke sunlight into watercolor tints and draw loaves of bread next to handprints. Her project, Lillian's Big Hard Art, has raised hundreds to feed the unhoused. "Will this feed more people, Mommy?" she asks, holding up a new painting of a sunrise. Her mother kisses her forehead. "Yes, baby, it will." Sometimes, hope comes in the shape of soup. Sometimes, it's folded into the corners of a child's painting. They say winter in Colorado doesn't knock. It crashes through the door. For those without shelter, the difference between survival and silence often depends on a cot, a bowl of hot stew, or a pair of socks passed hand to hand in the wind. Yet amid this frost, efforts flicker. Government programs, community shelters, and mobile health teams are working, some quietly, others urgently, to push back the cold, both literal and systemic. Take Denver's emergency shelter network. After the impact of COVID-19, the city injected $24 million into housing and support. These funds expanded contracts with key organizations like the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless and the Salvation Army. On paper, these are just transactions. But on the ground, they're the difference between someone shivering beneath an underpass and someone being handed a blanket, a warm space, a moment of breath. Picture this, a gymnasium floor lined with mats. A woman clutches a thermos of soup. A volunteer, barely older than her son, kneels to tie her shoe. "You're safe tonight," he whispers. She doesn't reply, but she pulls her blanket tighter, as if folding that kindness into her chest. Mobile health units roam the city too, bridging the vast gap between survival and healing. Nurses administer antibiotics behind dumpsters. Social workers hand out Narcan in alleys. In 2025 alone, over 12,000 people were treated, wounds wrapped in silence, pressure checked under freeway lamps. These aren't just medical acts. They are acts of presence. But support systems extend beyond crisis care. Transitional housing programs now help hundreds find more than just shelter. They find structure. These are the places where people relearn routines, reconnect with therapy, and feel the tremor of purpose again. As of this year, over 300 individuals have moved from tents to stability, some now in jobs, others reunited with family. And then come the big swings. At 2175 California Street, the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless is erecting a $46.5 million housing facility. It will host nearly 100 individuals and a separate 75-bed wing for those battling addiction. Its goal? Help up to 500 people annually step back from the edge. A building. A beacon. Still, not all policies can be measured in bricks. House Bill 21-117 is a legislative step aimed at rewriting housing rules, giving local governments power to demand affordable units in new developments. For years, a Supreme Court ruling tied Colorado's hands. This bill seeks to cut those ropes, to let cities act before sidewalks crack open again. The truth? These programs, clinics, and bills don't fix everything. Many still fall through. The system stutters. Cracks in the system. When good intentions meet harsh realities. As the sun dips behind Denver's sleek skyline, another kind of light begins to reveal itself. One that shines on the fractures of a system struggling to hold together. Take Park Hill, a quiet neighborhood with leafy streets and family homes. A local church there proposed turning its parking lot into a safe outdoor site for about 50 unhoused individuals. The idea was simple. A clean, monitored space where people could stay without fear. But the backlash was swift. Neighbors were outraged. "No one told us anything," one resident said during a heated community meeting. Another, clutching a microphone with shaking hands, asked, "I get that these folks need help, but who's protecting our kids when this camp opens across the street?" And just like that, a moment of compassion turned into a battlefield of fear, misunderstanding, and unanswered questions. But the challenges go deeper. When a fire broke out at a homeless encampment near East 41st Avenue and Josephine Street, city officials acted fast, clearing the area to protect nearby propane storage. Yet homeless advocates accused the city of bypassing court-ordered notification rules. "They move people like they were a public hazard, not human beings," said one outreach worker. These aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a deeper tension between public safety and human dignity. And too often, those caught in the middle are the ones with the least power. Accessibility is another blind spot, literally. One legally blind woman recounted how she had to navigate around tents just to walk down her street. "I can't see the barriers," she said, "but I can feel them." Her words echo a broader truth. When we fail to include everyone, we fail as a community. So where do we go from here? How do we balance the need for safety with the moral duty to protect the vulnerable? What does it mean to build a city for everyone, not just those with keys in their pocket? In Denver, these aren't abstract policy questions. They're daily dilemmas, and they demand something more than temporary solutions. They demand courage, the kind that listens, adjusts, and insists that nobody gets left behind. Under a winter sky in Littleton, a girl with watercolor-stained fingers paints on thick paper. Her name is Lillian Benedict. She's 6 years old, and while the world debates policies and programs, she's quietly selling her art to feed strangers she may never meet. With each brushstroke, waves of blue, sunbursts of yellow, she's not just making pictures. She's planting seeds. One painting at a time, Lillian has raised enough to feed nearly 100 people. Her project is called Big Heart Art, but it's more than a name. It's a reminder. Even the smallest hands can reach someone lost in the dark. In Denver, on the worn streets of Curtis Street, a woman named Tara de la Fuente pushes a cart lined with sandwiches and socks. Twice a week, she shows up. No headlines, no cameras, just presence. Jesse, a local resident, saw her struggle and started a GoFundMe to get Tara a van. The goal wasn't just wheels, it was reach. And they did it. Dozens of donors, strangers once, united to carry compassion forward. These are not isolated gestures. They are sparks, and some of them grow into fire. Take Project Hope, a transitional program that helped over 600 people in 2024 alone find not just jobs, but footing. In one kitchen, a man who once cooked meals over alley fires now plates dishes in a restaurant. In another, a woman irons her shirt before a job interview, her first in years. These aren't dramatic headlines, but they're miracles in motion. And deeper in the heart of the city, a building rises at 2175 California Street, a new housing facility by the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless. It's not just a roof. It's 98 beds, 75 recovery spaces, therapy rooms, and a chance for 500 people a year to rebuild from the inside out. This place says something simple: you deserve to heal. There's also the unseen victories: paper cranes left at mobile clinics, a whisper of "let it be" during a wound cleaning, a photo of a lunchbox in a grandfather's wallet, worn thin from hope. None of these stories erase the crisis, but they illuminate the truth. People aren't problems to be solved. They're lives waiting to be heard. And somewhere between the painted stars of Lillian's sketches and the steam rising from a donated bowl of soup, hope survives. Because in Colorado's long winter, it's not always the fire that keeps people alive. It's the warmth of each other. The wind cuts sharp through Denver's streets tonight, howling down alleyways and swirling around tents patched with plastic and hope. A paper coffee cup rolls across the sidewalk, bumping into a discarded glove. Somewhere, a child stirs on a shelter cot, while city lights shimmer beyond the frosted window. This is Colorado, where ski lifts rise into blue skies and second chances fall between the cracks. A place of stunning vistas and sleeping bags on frozen pavement. But homelessness here isn't just about housing. It's about the systems that let go too soon, the neighbors who look away, and the dreams we've collectively misplaced. The truth is, no one chooses to freeze beside a highway. And yet, tonight, thousands do. So the question isn't just, how did we get here? It's, what are we going to do, now that we've seen it? Change doesn't begin with big policies. It begins with the decision to see, to care, to act, comment, aid. If you believe dignity should never be a luxury, share this story if it moved you. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of homelessness in Colorado. Stay tuned to our great travel channel for more insightful and impactful stories from around the world.